Well then, with all the brand new news that we've been getting for Fairy Tail Season 3, Fairy Tail 100 Year announcement, City Hero, we've also got announcement about the anime staff, we've had Eden Zero chapter come out, the announcement of the Volume 1 and more spin-off material coming its way. It's been pretty crazy for definitely a lot of the stuff that a lot of people have been excited for. I mean, the creme de la creme is just be like, hey guys, Raid Master, and that everyone just comes on the floor, I guess, at that point, and that's pretty much everything that everyone wants, I guess. Please can we have a Raid Master remake? That would be really good. If not, just finish like the anime, that, like where the manga left off, you know, that would just be great, just saying. But where we've got some news is Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, or as we shall call them, Chapter 546 and 547, and there'll be many addressed as, has come out. The sequel is finally out, however they are in RAW at the moment. One of them is in a Korean scan, and we have got a synopsis for it and a general place. Now I will say, I don't know Japanese that well. I know a little bit of katakana thanks to the osmosis I learned from like my friend like that, just by when he was like studying it, and to be fair, it's really fucking hard, so fucking kudos to him and everyone that like really actually translate it. It's quite a hard language to learn. I will say that I know the synopsis, and going off by a lot of what I could tell from like what was going on in the panels, a little bit I know a little bit about some of the words on there, and especially because as well the Reddit has been like devouring this thing down, and there has been some things that we learn about this. So let's just go straight into it, because it is on the scale of like, wow, they are really trying to one-up the Alvarez arc, and more like, wow, we're trying to make you guys forget about the Alvarez arc. It's on a scale where it's like, this thing is like, you know, you went against that, but we've got 5 of them, and they are on this level of continent, and it's like, you are the only guys that do it. Like, reading some of the synopsis stuff is like, what the fuck? Especially the ending of like Chapter 2 is like, huh, this could be really good, or this could be fucking awful. Like, generally it makes me worried, where it's like, we could have serious, like, just fuck it, throw out the window kind of like situation. Although it is on the scale of like, this is what 100 Year Quest should be, but it makes me worried with how they're being kind of addressing this stuff. So let's just talk about what entails these chapters. So one thing that we get to see in the chapter is that Fairy Tail has some brand new guild members. There are some brand new people on there, whereas a little boy, a shit-faced noble-looking motherfucker, and one girl who is a fangirl of Natsu, whose name is Toka. Now, to talk about a little bit about the designs, I'm personally fine with them. Like, they look a little bit OC, like, they're like, the author, like, also with like, the creator of this one, is like, it's like, Marshall was like, sure, add these guys in, I'm sure they'll be fine on there, and it's like, they're fine. It's a little weird that one of the characters is a die-hard Natsu fan. That's a little weird. So expect some weird rivalry probably between Lucy and her if we see her. There's some more interesting stuff about Toka, because the fact of the matter is that there's a part that we find out in one of the chapters is that Toka knows about, or is an acquaintance with, Bria, who I was like, who the fuck is Bria? And then I looked at the panel, I'm like, oh my god, that's that bitch from Avatar. Like, she is the dark-skinned character that had like the kind of very not pompadour, but it had this really like long-ass hair that kind of looked like this weird pompadour with like a spike on the end of it, and she had the copy magic. So I was like, oh, her, the character that had like 3 chapters, like, not even that, maybe 2 chapters that we knew about her, and apart from she was evil, and that she might have wanted to fuck Grey. That was the only things we know about that. So, Gajiel catches that a little bit, and he's like, I don't fucking trust her, there's something shady with this bitch. It's clearly, like, she acting like a Natsu fanboy. People are like, wait, was she like an original member of Avatar? Like, what's her whole deal? Like, there's something a little bit more going on with this girl, and like, especially it's like, what is up with the the other two, like the little boy and like the older noble guy, because noble guy's like acting like hot shit and like Laxus just slams him down. It's like, you know, you talk like that, like you're gonna be acting getting all cocky. Meanwhile though, because this is happening and she's like, yeah, where's Natsu? Where's Natsu-san? And I'm like, he's like, they're all on a quest right now, which consists of Lucy, Natsu, Gray, Urza, and Wendy. The rest of the characters, like Juvia, Gargiel, Laxus, Gildas, all of these characters so far, they're not going to be involved with this, which I'm like, man, I really like a lot of these characters, like, on there, and I was like, man, I want my girl Juvia to be a little bit involved, but they decide to go to, with their request and all that, where they go taken up to this old building, which we see is got a giant dragon on it. This leads into them finding a fucking dragon, like this old-ass dragon, which is this mage, which we get to know that, his name was Elseria, Elseria, who is the guy that we see is like, who put the 100-year quest up in the first place, and the quest involves the oldest guild in history, Magia Dragon, and you need to go to the northern continent called Giltina or Gilutina. Like, I can't think of like the Pokemon from Platinum, the giant like shadow dragon, but I think it's supposed to pronounce Giltina or Giltina. Like, this, okay, that's like, okay, we want to go to this continent. What's the actual quest? The quest is to slay 5 dragon gods. Yes, they're called dragon gods. Every one of them are as powerful as Acnologia. So fucking just take that. I've seen the translation and people have been describing, they've been showing the panel as well of like these 5 dragons like paneled off. Firstly, what in the actual fuck? Like, wouldn't we have heard, like, I want to hear the explanation as like, man, we just don't deal with the other continents like that. And that was one thing, is like, all of Fairy Tail was dealing with Fiore, and like, the only other time is that we saw a bit of Alvarez, which is like, I liked exploring kind of the continent of Fairy Tail, but it's like, they stick to kind of one area for the most part, and I kind of wish they explored more of the continent for the kind of the quests and stuff that they did. But I understand maybe one of them being as powerful like as Acnologia or even rumored, but apparently all fucking 5 of these. Now, where did I get hints of this before hearing about this? Oh right, Alvarez. When all of the Spriggan was supposed to be rumored near as strong as Guildmat. I think the actual word was like near all of them are as strong as Zeref, on the same level as him. Whereas like all of these guys are on a sheer amount, or it's like they were all classified as like, these guys are class wizards for the most part. Whereas like these are the cream of the crop. These are the most powerful people, and some of them went out like just fucking pathetic. This sounds a lot like, I can't believe I'm using Dungeons and Dragons here, but this sounds like Fairy Tail's version of the Chroma Conclave, which is a 5 sets of dragons, whereas like there's a fire one, there's like, there's Fordak, Voragol, I forget the other ones, like honestly, they're that's what I generally got the sounds of. I got the sounds of like Critical Role, like Chroma Conclave when I heard about this, and I'm like, look, one, where the fuck were these dragons, and how come no one ever heard of them till now? That's kind of what I understand, because the start bit of the chapter we see like some people being like crucified and killed for these dragons. One of them looks really dumb as fuck. It looks square and it looks like it's like just earth. One of them looks rad as shit. One of them is got like, generally looks like a badass design, and it's clearly probably the leader one. What, like, I described Acnologia as like he was the I remember calling him like the dragon god, or that he was like a special case dragon where he clearly could absorb other elements. He was probably the definitor of that. The thing is though, Acnologia was originally human. These also as well how they're describing them is like because we see in the Old Manor that is this the same scenario or are we actually dealing with actual dragons here? So Acnologia was generally, I think, the most the disappointing finale for a lot of people. Whereas like I really did like Acnologia for the story, but it was like one, he didn't get a lot of his whole reasoning properly explained, without the exception of Dragonkai. A lot of Acnologia's reasons, like I feel like Dragonkai is slightly essential just to even have like a bit of context about why Acnologia hates everything, and then even as well, it's not this big of a reason where it's like everyone betrayed me. It's just more he got sick and tired of how the world works, and he just decided to take things into his own hands. Why the fuck did Igneel never mention these guys? Where it's like, oh, by the way, I mean, I guess as well Igneel was busy on a different continent, but it's like, you're also thinking of like how far away these continents are, and like, did they seriously not hear about this? Or is like with news, it's like unless they've just recently just appeared out there. And I think that's the problem where like you got to take context out of it, where it's like these guys have probably just appeared for the most part, or it's like news can't travel that fast in the world, even though we've got magic that can like read minds and send it over, or they've been somehow restricting information for the most part. Like there's things that you got to think of that, and I think generally it's like, don't think too hard about it. I am like I said, this sounds Dragon Ball-esque, where it's like, this is 5 times the strength of Acnologia. So I want to know what the hell are up with these dragons. 5 of them. 5 of them are on Acnologia's level. Which basically means, if anything, now it's a different person working on this. Now Hero is behind on this as well. How are they going to handle these? Are they going to be... I generally want this to be better than what we kind of got for the finale of Fairy Tail. I will say this much. Yeah, that's a 100-year quest. That's the 100-year quest for the most part. I will say this though. Acnologia was a 100-year quest. And Gildarts fought him. And Gildarts lost half his body fighting against him. Mind you, that was a 1v1 on there, and Acnologia was going against every Dragon Slayer from Fiore. So now that makes me wonder what we've seen Lacrima worked in the other continents. So does that mean we had the chance of seeing other different versions of Dragon Slayers? Like, how are they been combating this, or is it Fiore where it has the seven Dragon Slayers? Does that mean that we're gonna have to get? Obviously, we saw Laxus in a panel before. Yeah, that sounds like clearly, since it's like Lucy, Natsu, Gray, Wendy, and Urza being involved there. And, like, we know that Urza can fight someone like Irene. We also know where Natsu's level is kind of at the end of the series. Again, it sounds like fucking madness. Like, it generally sounds like setting it up. I want to know how it's going to be handled. I will not lie. That's one way to kind of go brush Alvarez under the table, or it's like, no, let's go to the next level. I am worried then as well. It's like, have we learned from the mistakes from Fairy Tail? It hasn't been that long since the series ended, since 545 came out. I mean, I have the volumes up there, and every time I think about Fairy Tail's ending, I get really kind of bummed out, where I'm like, man, that last arc. And this is where I'm hoping, where it's like, I can go like that, man, that last arc on there, but the sequel though, man, that was great, like that. It's like, made me wanting more. It made me what I loved the series in the first place. Like, I want this series to make me forget about the bad stuff in Avatar and the bad stuff in Alvarez. Like, I kind of want this series to be like, there's still some gold at the end of the tunnel. And there's definitely a conclusion for the most part where it comes to like dealing with this threat. It's just like, what kind of dragons are these? How are they going to be handled? With a team like with the most powerful members that they got on there, where we've got a Demon Slayer, like 2 Dragon Slayers at the moment. There's also a keynote in this thing as well, is that another reason that they're heading out here in the first place is that Lucy this might be leading to an area where Lucy might be able to get Aquarius back. There's been kind of talks about that, so that's another thing for her to go out here, and I think another big general reason why she's accepting this. So yeah, we'll see how that's going to be happening, where it's like they're going to be taking on a 100-year quest, and see where it goes. My only thing as well is that we don't know how long this manga is. We don't know if it's been commissioned for, like, I don't know, like, say, 24 chapters, like most of the fairy tale stuff has been going on for, or 13, like, it could either be the most rushed thing in existence, which I don't want, because that's generally what ruined fairy tale at the end as well, is that the last fight was rushed. It generally was. So, I just had to find out, because literally this video is just going to be devoiding, like, how the fuck are we going to deal with 5 dragon gods? Athnologia was a dragon god, so they might be already exaggerating with their strength, although we've seen a little bit of what they can do. They've fucked up villages, so they have got a kill count on them, and we'll see what these dragon gods are pretty much capable of. It'll be interesting if they try and convince one of them to join their side, like, on there. And I want to see what people do, because, like, this... Good luck. Yeah, like, I'll say this much. In D&D terms, good luck fighting a dragon, because those things are fucking hard. So, yeah. Enjoy that, I'll say. What do you think about the 5 dragon gods that are going to be appearing in Fairy Tail? Yeah, quite a lot of news. Quite a lot of news for Eden Zero, for Fairy Tail, and then as well. So there's. I'll obviously be reviewing the chapter when it's fully out, and then obviously, hopefully then we'll have more context. This is going to be having to rely on fan translations, because I don't think Crunchyroll or Kodansha have officially announced that they picked this up. I don't even think they said that they picked up the license for this when they announced all the Fairy Tail titles. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait for this, and we'll probably see some more news about City Hero and the Happy One, so I might talk about them depending. So, I definitely wanted to get this on there because this is a sequel, and this is canon, so enjoy, I'll say it like that. I'm very looking forward to this chapter, but that's all from me. Thanks always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.